Everyone, this is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again today. I feel like I was in a red lip kind of day and I wanted to do one so bad, but then I realized that I still need to show off my Morphe 39S, such a gem palette. And I don't think red lips goes very well with pink eyeshadow. I really want to pull off a pink look today, so let's get started. I have already moisturized, so with priming, I'm going to use a few different products I haven't used lately. You guys, if you've watched my channel at all, you know that I love to do that. I like to kind of get back in and just rotate through my products to see what I'm still loving, what I'm still like not really feeling anymore. Needless to say, not that I wouldn't use it, because I don't want to invest money into these products and like throw them away, or even giving them away. It's okay, but I don't think my immediate friends and family appreciate makeup as much as I do. So if I invest in something that's like a high quality product, they don't really care because they're not into that. So I'm going to use my Too Faced Do You Fresh Glow Luminous Face Primer in the shade Radiant Nude. So I'm actually going to use my sponge. I was going to use fingers, but this stuff is really potent. And I feel like, I think it dried up in the, yeah, it's really hard to pump out, I find. So this is kind of like a shimmery primer. I really want to go for the glow today. I want to have a very glowy face. And then we'll have some, I'm not sure if I'm doing like a bright electric eye look, or if I want more of like a soft pink. So we'll kind of go in there and just see. And normally with this primer, I usually just like I add it right to my foundation, and then I'll go in like before I add that onto my face. I will go in with like a silicone based primer to fill in my pores, but today I'm just doing it this way. So that looks good. And then when you also add it in with the damp sponge, it does have the added benefit of adding that moisture from the damp sponge into your skin as well. And now I am going to use, again, like I said, I haven't used this in a while. I'm just going to shake it. I'm going to use my L'Oreal 24-Hour Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in the shade Sand Beige 207. I haven't used this in a while, and I figured it's time. So this is a little lighter than what I have been using, but it works out. I will be going in with my Tartiest Pro Glow palette. I think instead of bronzing today, I think I'll just do a contour. So let's do this color correcting right now. And then I do kind of blend it out just a little bit, but more so the edges, just because I really want this to stay in the area that I apply it right from the stick here. And I think I've said this before, this is not my favorite product, but I don't really have much experience with color correctors because this is really the first one I've ever owned. So if you guys use one and you have a recommendation, please let me know, because I don't have any other ones. I think maybe I bought, do I have like a yellow one, but it's more for it's for something different. It's not to correct like dark under eye circles, and it didn't work very well. I think it was an NYX concealer, like color corrector. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with the shade Light by Maybelline. It's the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer. I think this light shade is the first one I've ever owned, so the sponge, like I don't know how much bacteria is on there, but it's probably time for a new one. So I'm just going to put this only on the areas of my eye here. I'm going to put a little bit here that I can blend out later. And I might actually put some down my nose just to highlight if I'm going to contour later too. I usually don't use like this concealer to highlight with, but it's quite light, so it will work. I might put some just on the cheekbone here because I'm going to contour right underneath this area. Now, once that has kind of set, like I'll go do my eyebrows, I'll come back and blend this out, and I'm going to actually be using my Hollywood Flawless filter on top. So we'll be right back after eyebrows are set and done. And just before I leave, I am actually not even using my Anastasia Beverly Hills products today, which is like, what? So I'm going to be using my Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer in 305 Soft Brown, and my Brow Precise by Maybelline Fiber Volumizer in Soft Brown as well. we will be right back and I'll show you what it looks like. I made the eyebrows a little bushy, but that's okay. So I'm almost afraid that this is dried out too much. So I'm just going to quickly go in and tap it. I've already been noticing that if I rub like an area too much of my face where the foundation is, it's almost like it kind of like comes off and it beads up, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the products I use together. But we're just going to, I'm using the pointy end of my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge here. And I'm lightly going to tap out the highlighted areas here. And then around my under eyes, I'm just going to blend out the edges of this. And I will be going in with my cream contour product from my Tarte Tardiest Pro Glow palette, because you guys know I've been loving that stuff. So I won't actually set this down until that is done. Hopefully it won't crease up too bad. Maybe what we'll do is we'll use the cream product here, and then I'm going to go in with this and highlight after. I'm going to use a brush. So I have this, the Extreme Structure Contour F04 for my cheeks. And then we'll just darken up the temples with powder because I just find it's easier to work with. But contour works really well on the cheeks and the nose. And you can always go back in with the lighter concealer. I can use this, I think I've used this for highlight in the past, but this Soft Blend Concealer F64. And instantly your nose looks smaller. Like, I can see a difference. Okay, so now we are done contouring with the cream. So before I go any further, I am taking my Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the shade Medium 4. I'm going to put some right here where I really like my highlight to be, on my nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and I put a little bit on the forehead. And now with the concealer side of my sponge, I'll just lightly blend that out. I'm really not pressing hard here at all. And then very lightly, I will go in with my F06 powder sweep, and I'm going to apply my Coty Airspun loose face powder. I will tap off the brush because I just want to apply a very small amount here. And then again, I'll just take my F20 and then gently powder the rest of the face. That is all I do, but we will go in and add blush and contour. I take my favorite contouring brush, my F40 Large Angled Contour by Sigma. And now I'm just going to go into the shade Sculpt, which is the powder formula in this palette. I'm just going to add a little bit more depth to my cheeks here. And this is where I add it to my lip, my jaw, and as well to the temples and the forehead here. Okay, and now we will add a little bit of blush. So I'm using my Tarte Life of the Party blush palette. I'm going to, again, like I always do, swipe it in all three of these blush colors. I'm using my F10 powder blush brush here. Smile, and sometimes, especially if it's for an event like a wedding, which I will be doing wedding makeup, not like my own wedding makeup, but makeup for a wedding, sometimes with blush, because blush has a tendency to be the one product that wears off the fastest. So you want to over blush and you also want to layer. So what I would do is put on my blush, put on a layer of translucent powder on top, and then blush again, because that will make your makeup last, as well as using like a really nice setting spray. Okay, so now we're going to highlight, but before we highlight, I actually just want to add a little bit of this Too Faced Do You Fresh Glow Translucent Setting Powder in the shade Translucent Radiant Nude, because you're adding cream with contour and then product over top. So now I have a lot more product to my face than I normally would. So like the more product you have on your face, simply start looking more cakey. So at this point, be really careful about touching your face. And once your makeup is complete, don't touch your face at all if you can help it. So I'm going to go into the shade Strobe in my Tardiest Pro Glow palette here. So I put a very skinny little bit on my bridge of my nose. I bring it down to the tip of my nose here, and on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and then again right above, right on the top. So I feel like my skin is very glowy. I feel good about this, and I am just going to set it with some setting spray. So at this point, I don't actually go in and use like an all-nighter setting spray like my Urban Decay. I would just use like the Morphe or the Too Faced, something that kind of melds all of the product on your face together just to kind of give it that seamless finish. Personally, at this point, if I was doing wedding makeup, which again I will show you guys, I will use my Morphe Continuous Mist setting spray and just a little bit, just like that, just enough to kind of make it seamless. So next, I'm going to leave my lip products out because I know which lip products I'll be using today and which mascara, of course, my Too Faced Damn Girl. P.S. It was released on the website last night or this morning. I don't know, but anyway, it's on Sephora Canada website now. So I'm going to take off this cover, which kind of just tells me the shade names. Maybe I'll just point to the color because honestly, it's just too hard reading the names and it just takes forever. So if we're going to start with a pink look, I really think I want to go in with a nude, a neutral shadow in the crease. So I'm going to use this one here. It's third in from the right, and I'm going to take it on an E40, tap off your brush, and then just put it right in the crease, buffing this neutral shade into the crease. And I do like to use little round circular motions just to really distribute the product, and I will be bringing this all the way around, and you can even start rounding out the outer corner a little bit. When I look at this palette, so it does have a few of those silk toppers, but now these are kind of like the cranberry shades here on the right. And really the only pink shades is this really bright one here, this kind of bright one here, and this light one, and then this silk top. But I think what we're going to do is start adding this with the same brush. This is third from the left now, this into the crease as well. Okay, and now instead of adding any more color at this point, I'm just going to take an E35 and then I'm just going to lightly blend out the top of this color here because we don't want any harsh lines this high up. We want it to blend out very seamlessly. I could add a little bit of this on the second row, second from the left here, just to blend out the edges here. And I'm just going to go back in with that bright pinky purple color and just add a little bit more here. I'm going to use this a little bit smaller brush. This is an E45 small tapered blending. I'm going to take this like really bright pink color here, and I might actually mix it. I might go 1 in 1 parts with each of these colors, so they're both kind of second from the right, the first and the second row. So one is a shimmer and one is a matte, and I'm just going to kind of stick to the outer corner. Okay, so now we're going to take that same pink color on an E15, and we're going to actually use this one first, and we're going to really dab the brush in it and then bring it down to the bottom lash line here and really press it into the lashes. I'm going to do a slight cut crease. We're going to come back to the lower lash line because I'm not quite done with that. I'm going to use some of my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I'm going to take a flatter brush here. So this one is the E58 Cream Color by Sigma, and I'm just going to put this on the inner lid here. And I'm not too concerned about the ending of this color because I'm going to be blending in with that pink color on the lid. So this part here doesn't really matter what that looks like. And I'm actually bringing it like one little swipe of this concealer into the crease, just a single line. Take a really bright pink sparkly color, and I think I want to try using that Silk Slip here, this pink. So this one is a little bit more purple shimmer to it. We can try that one too, but I want to see what this pink one here looks like first. So at this point, we are going to take this brush here. This is the Firm Shader E57. I'm going to wet my brush with some Make It Dewy. I'm going to put it into that Silk Slip shade and pat it right there on top of the concealer. I'm going to take a really skinny brush. So I'm going to take this blending E36, but we're not going to use it for blending. I'm going to wet it with some Milani Make It Dewy here. I'm going to kind of make it kind of come to a point like a paintbrush. I'll show you what I mean here. I'm just adding the color, like that pink Silk Slip color, and it kind of make it into a paintbrush. And I'm just going to follow that concealer line here right to the edge of my eye, and I'm just going to gently flick it up here at the end. And now it kind of made like a little like almost like a black, like a cat eye, but not black obviously. But I like how there's still like a dark pink line on top of that light pink, which is kind of the whole point, to make it pop and stand out. Now we're going to finish up the lower lash line. So I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is an E30. And at first I put it in this shade here, but we're also going to add some of this shade. It's almost like a really light cranberry color. And I'm just going to buff out the lower lash line a little bit. And now I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffier brush. I'm not sure how this one's going to work, but this is a wide shader E59. I normally wouldn't use this, but we're just need something that's clean and just kind of bring that color down a little bit. I just want that bright line up there as bright as I can make it. So now at this point I'm just adding a little bit of this color as well, because even though it's more of a purple shade, it is a little bit brighter. So I think eyes are done. And now what I would probably do is add like a black liner to the inner and like the lower and upper lash lines. So I just have to find a black. I'm going to make the eyes look crazy. So I'm going to add lashes. Once I find a style and I have them on, I will let you know what they are. But I am going to add my Avon True Color Glimmer Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in Blackest Night. And then my Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara with some black lashes on top. We'll be right back and then we'll focus on the lip. So that is what it looks like with eyelashes on. These are the Bel Air by Morphe. So they are not premium lashes, they are the $4 lashes. I think that this type of look with the flared out pink would be perfect for a festival. I'm not sure if I would wear this to my local grocery store. But another thing, so like I have been loving my nude lips, and I've been wearing nude lips for as long as I started pretty much doing my channel, but I do have another color. Let me find it. So I'm not like huge, like I wanted to do a red lip, and I know red wouldn't really go with this, so I have a close second that's going to be crazy. I'm still going to outline my lips with a nude pencil. This is just the Morphe color pencil in Love Bite. So I am just bringing it a lot lower on my lower right here, and then I kind of connect it to my natural right on the corner, so it doesn't look like I have a wider mouth, but it looks like my mouth is a little bit poutier. And I think I found out how to make my lips look bigger without making them look too wide or too not like normal. So with me, I kind of have to keep with my natural Cupid's bow because it's such a deep Cupid's bow that it just won't look natural if I go right over it like a lot of women do. And I guess I should say men, because men do makeup too. I keep to the natural Cupid's bow, but I bring the sides right here a little bit rounded and out. So here is where I overline right here for my lips. And then again, I connect it to my natural line right down here. So it looks like my lips are fuller and puffier, just like that. I had this a long time ago, and this goes with the dress that I'm wearing on Saturday. So I don't know if I should actually be daring enough to wear this lip gloss. I got it a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to wear that lip gloss. I'm just going to give it away. So I gave it to my mom. She kept it. She never used it. And then I saw it in her drawer one day, and I was like, oh, I think I need that back. It matches a dress that I own. So I got it back. It is from Walmart. It is by Katy Perry. It's CoverGirl, and it's the Katy Cat Gloss. And this is the shade Kitty Karma, KP29. Look how bright that is. So I'm going to put it on, and it's going to go with this eye look. But I would totally recommend something like this for a festival. And this gloss is very potent. It is a gloss, and you guys will see how it transforms my lips. It almost looks like it has a metallic finish to it. Okay, so I got the gloss looking pretty good. The only other thing I would do now at this point is add a highlighter to the inner corner and under the brow bone here. I almost feel like lips are crazy and eyes are crazy, and I almost feel like my cheeks have to be a little bit more colorful, but like, wow, so colorful right now. I don't think I've ever done anything this crazy before. Didn't I say that about another look I did a long time ago? So I'm just taking my strobe highlight in this Tarteist Pro Glow palette here, and I'm going to add some highlight to the inner corner, and then again underneath the brow bone without trying to touch the brow here. I almost feel like you could add a little bit to the tail of this like little pink tail here, just to kind of give it a little bit of like sparkle at the end. I think that looks really cool too. Yeah, this totally reminds me of festival makeup. This is something you could totally do. I don't know here about Canada. Pretty much the only festival that we go to is like Klondike days, which is like more of a carnival. But yeah, I think this look is really, really cool. Anything bright, anything colorful. But this was made with the 39S Morphe Such a Gem palette. And that is the completed look. I did spray my face with some Urban Decay All Nighter spray before I put on mascara. And if I kind of close my eyes, you guys can see what I did. So I just added concealer, but I left like a dark pink line on top. And then I just brought some of that Silk Slip color down and around. So it really, on the inner corner of the eye on the inside, it does have some of that on the inner corner. And that is the completed look. So if you guys enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up. I know it was a little bit long, a little bit crazy. And if you'd like to see more, please hit that bell button below to be notified the next time I post a crazy ass makeup tutorial like this one. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and come support me, and you will hang out with this fine group of people that we have, kind of like a little family. And yeah, I'd love to have you, anyone who wants to subscribe. The next couple videos I'll be doing, I am working on a sticker collection video if anyone's interested. I have so many stickers. That video will probably be so long, but I'm going to try starting it today, so we'll see how that goes. And I've got some more stationery products I want to show, as well as some brush pen videos, because my brush pen collection is almost complete. There's a couple different ones I want to get, but I think it'll take a while because I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them. They're the Karen markers, Karen brush markers. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. We will see you very, very soon. Love you.